Hey, welcome everybody. This is our webinar, my webinar today to give a little help to parents. And this is entitled 7 Diet Tweaks to Help with Autism and Help the Whole Family Eat Healthier. I've got some slides, so I'm going to start with my screen share and I'm going to pop in and out of screen share. So let's get going there. There we are. 7 diet tweaks that I hope maybe you can implement even this evening. Before I jump into the diet changes, I want to talk about how we shift autism behaviors. And yes, we can have speech therapy, applied behavioral analysis, ABA, occupational therapy. These are all things we do for our kids because they haven't developed at peer level at kind of the regular way, the regular rate that kids develop. But what I really want to emphasize is that diet, I like to call these the 4Ds. Diet is really the first thing you have to change to start seeing shifts in behaviors. It's so key what you put into your child's body. And then we'll go into some things that help with that. But the next one is digestion. And this is, we have to make sure that the digestive tract is on board, working correctly. We have to take care of the microbiome. Most kids on the spectrum have too many bad guys, bad bacteria and microbes and parasites in their gut and not enough good ones. And that there's so much research on how that affects our brain and the rest of the body. The next one we look at is drainage. And if you're new to drainage, I'm going to show you something about that. So what do I mean by drainage? And I just want to say the fourth D is detox. So drainage means, how does water and waste drain out of your house? It goes through the pipes and into the sewer system or the drainage yard or however, depending on where you live. Our body has pipes or similar to pipes, and that's our lymphatic system. That's our liver. These are drainage organs. So I'm going to have you actually do something with your hands right now that you can feel, and you can feel where your lymphatic system is. I'm going to guide you through that. So if it's comfortable for you, if you're not driving, if you're just sitting here, I want you to take your hand and touch your toe. Now, I'm not going to bend down and touch my toe, but touch your toe and then bring your hand along the top of your foot, run your hand along the top of your foot and along your leg. I'm doing that right now, so I want you to do it with me. And pause when you get to up to your thigh and kind of touch your inner thigh where your groin area is, where the crease is between your body and your leg. So you've just traced your lymphatic system. It parallels the circulatory system. You've just traced your lymphatic system. And where your hand is resting right now in your upper thigh are a lot of lymph nodes. And these help us not only to carry, the lymph system helps us not only carry waste away from the cells, but those lymph nodes help with if there's infection or bacteria, it helps to eliminate those. Now continue your hand up and you'll find the crease between your, by your groin and by your thigh. And right in here, there's a lot of, I'm just gonna put my screen down a little bit. There are a lot of lymph nodes in here in this inguinal area, and then also in the abdominal area. So you can touch your abdominal area and then move your hand up, and this lymphatic system, the pipes kind of drain right here. So if you put your hand right above in the upper chest, right above your heart, all those lymph channels drain right into the blood in the heart. Now, if you take your right hand and touch the tips of your left fingers and trace your hand all the way up your arm, and then even to your armpit, you have a lot of lymph nodes in here. And this is where a lot of lymph comes to. And then again, put your hand over your heart, drains right into your heart. Now, take your hand and put it on the left side of your head and come down your face and come down your neck and come right over to that heart again. The lymph from your left side of your head drains right here again. So you have a lot of lymph draining into the left side right in your chest here into the heart. Now take your hand and put it on your right side of your head and come down your face, come down your neck, and come down to the chest and then over. And this all drains into the heart. And then again, we can take the left hand, trace the right arm up, come to our lymphatic, our armpits area, and then come on over to over the heart. So you see the whole body, all our pipes, our waste pipes are draining right into the heart. So that's a lot of lymph flow. And from there, that gets taken. I want you to trace your hand from your heart down to right where the edge of your ribs are here. You can feel where the bones end. That's your liver. So all of that drains into the liver. So from the liver, it goes into your colon. So our colon has to be eliminating, right? We have to be pooping every day. Our liver has to be functioning well. And then our lymphatics have to be draining and open because that's what's going to carry waste away from the cells. And I think drainage and the lymphatic system are kind of the ugly step cousin in the medical industry. They're not paid attention to, yet they're very important. So this is why I talk about drainage, and we cannot start to detoxify, especially the brain, until those pipes are open. Because what happens? It's like a traffic jam on the freeway. It just backs up. It's like, imagine if your pipes were backed up in your house and your toilet started overflowing in your bathroom. Not a pretty sight. So I believe this is what's happening in our kids' bodies because they're not open, and drainage is one of the keys before we start detoxification. All right. Now, and I wanted you to get a visceral feel for that and actually feel it in, and where that happens in the body. So I'm going to share my screen again, and we're going to continue with the 7 diet tweaks to help with autism and the whole family eat healthier. And you can see we have a selection of healthy food here. Let me make an adjustment. There we go. All right, the first one, number 1, fish. Fish have good fat, and our brains need good fat to develop. And all of our cell membranes need good fat to develop. So it's very important that we have good fats. And one of the ways to get that is by eating pretty clean fish. What do I mean by that? This is cod and this is salmon, and no farmed fish. Farmed fish are fed crappy GMO food and junk and antibiotics, and then that just goes into your child's body, into your body. So we want Alaskan wild-caught salmon, and we want wild-caught cod. And those are, I feel like, 2 of the least mercury-filled fish. There's also anchovies and sardines, which are really good. So if you don't, if you can't get fish that often, or you can't get this type, I recommend a fish oil. And I'm recommending this Barlean's one. There are there are good brands. I would say for oils, I would trust Udo's. That's UDO. That's a guy who studied fats extensively. I know he has flaxseed oil. I'm not sure about fish oil, but his oils are going to be high quality. Barlean's are high quality, and Nordic Naturals. If you buy something at Costco, you can't be guaranteed of the quality. What you want to look for on the bottle is that they have tested it for heavy metals. Otherwise, you can just be concentrating heavy metals in the fish oil and giving more to your child. So I have these links up here because this is a link to my full script online dispensary where you can get this. So if you're in the US, you use this link, and I have a QR codes for you on the next slide. And if you're in Canada, it's a different system, so you'll have to use this link. And this is the link to go set up an account. And then this is the link to actually purchase this. And there's a 10% discount on my full script that you get if you purchase there. And you can get it anywhere. Well, I'd be cautious with Amazon because we don't know. So if you want to go to full script now and create an account under my dispensary, where you'll get 10% off your fish oils, you use this blue QR code. If you're in Canada, which I saw, I want to say Linda, I'm not sure who, someone in the beginning was from Canada, and you use this purple code. And then, excuse me, once you've signed up for an account, this is the code, or you can just type in Barlean's Omega Pals. They have different flavors, not just lemon. So I just wanted to tell you that. So you could have fish, you could feed your kids fish for dinner tonight and already be doing some good stuff. The second tweak is use quinoa instead of rice. If you don't know what quinoa is, it's high in protein and it's not a grain like rice. It's more of a seed. And so you just have a higher concentration of protein and less carbs to feed the bad bugs in the gut. So that's tweak number 2. And again, this is so widely available now. And I find, I don't know if you have Trader Joe's grocery store around you, but they tend to have a really good prices on things. Maybe you can get it online too. I'm not sure of prices. And I would try and get organic for sure. All right, so substitute homemade French fries using organic potatoes and avocado or coconut oil. And these are some Amazon links to these cutters. So this is potato cutter number 1, which will cut your French fries evenly. So just make it easier. I just cut mine by hand. And then this is another one. So I just found these on Amazon. I don't know how well they work, but it's a start, and you can go look around and see if you want to make your own French fries. I have so many clients whose kids are like, I just want French fries. Well, if you're going to do that, if you're not using organic potatoes, then you're feeding more pesticides and more toxins to your child. So go for organic potatoes. You can make your own and use the good oils that are not going to be the junky oils that accumulate in the brain and the cell membranes. And you'll have your own coconut oil, or sorry, your own French fries, your own homemade with good oils. And you can do that in an air fryer. You can, I bake mine in the oven, and you have to turn them over. So I don't have an air fryer, but these are just some ideas for you, how to use them. Healthy foods for crunchy lovers. We have kids who love certain textures and hate other textures. So if your kid's a crunchy lover, we have crunchy veggies. Jicama, if you're not familiar with it, I learned about this maybe a decade or 2 ago, but it's this brown root vegetable, and it's very fleshy and white and juicy on the inside. So this is good fiber. And you peel it and you can eat it raw and you can cook it. I like to put olive oil and salt and lemon like it's a little salad. You can cut it into small pieces and eat it like a salad. You can, if your child is, I had a friend who used to put her kids in front of the TV when she was cooking dinner and watch some video or some show, and she would give her kids celery, carrots, jicama, and these vegetables to munch on. And they were like, it was like an appetizer, and they were hungry. And so they would eat them, and they got their good vegetables. So these are great for crunchy. And of course, if your child does nut butters, peanut butter, almond butter, tahini, you can throw some raisins on there and make ants on a log. And then there's crunchy crackers. I like rice crackers, and try and get organic, of course. And then Mary's Gone crackers are organic. And now Trader Joe's has an organic version of this that I just tried, which are pretty good. So those are some suggestions for crunchy. And then if your child likes to dip, there's hummus, peanut butter, almond butter, tahini. I like those butters because these have, fairly good fats and have protein, and they're going to fill your child up. And it's not carbohydrates. When we have carbohydrates, we're going to be hungry in an hour or 2, and our blood sugar is going to spike. It's going to go up and down. And then you can have a yogurt type sauce. If you're doing dairy, I don't recommend dairy, so you can do an almond or a coconut yogurt, and you can add lots of different spices depending on your child's taste and what they like. So that's our number 4 tweak. And then we have mushy lovers. So I like, and these aren't necessarily mushy, but they're some kids who like crunchy don't like these more soupy, liquidy things. So you can use blended soups. When my son was a baby, I used to take little chicken pieces and vegetables, make a soup, and then I would blend it. And I could hide all kinds of vegetables in it, and then blend smoothies with fruit, some kind of organic protein or collagen. These are protein. These are going to help build the gut lining. They're going to help build our tissues. They're going to help build our joints, our bones, and our connective tissues and our muscles. And avocado is a good one to throw in there because that's a good fat. It makes it creamy. You could even make this and freeze it in those popsicle molds, and then have it as a popsicle treat another day. And I like to recommend romaine lettuce because it's pretty tasteless and it has a lot of fiber. And so your child is getting fiber. So those are just some little tips and tricks for, the more liquidy lovers. Our fifth tip is gluten-free pasta. So if your child just absolutely has to have pasta, I don't love pasta, I don't recommend it, but there's all kinds of pasta made with quinoa, lentils, black beans, and combinations of these. And some is brown rice. And again, that's pure carbs, but these have more protein in it. So you see, what I'm trying to get away from is feeding our kids carbs all the time and getting more protein and better fats in them. Our sixth tweak is homemade gluten-free chicken nuggets. I know so many kids who love their chicken nuggets. So I made these the other night and with a new recipe with almond flour and gluten-free and different spices. And they turned out really great. And you can watch, I made a little short video on this, a little fast video. You can watch it on YouTube or watch it on the new blog that I just made, gluten-free chicken nuggets, on my website. And I think I forgot to put number 7 in there. Isn't that funny? Just checking. I think I forgot to call it number 7. Anyway, it's important to eliminate chips, pretzels, corn products, because your child might be allergic to corn. Sugar, cookies, crackers, juice, gummies, candies, vitamins, supplements. Look for that extra added sugar. You don't want that because that's going to feed those bad bacteria. Anything with artificial colors, flavors, preservatives, goldfish crackers are, something that's colored and that has flavoring like MSG that gets the tongue addicted to that taste. Grains, breads, cereals, anything fortified with folic acid. This is a very cheap replacement vitamin for highly processed foods. So you'll see this in bread and cereals, and they add folic acid. This does not do our body a favor. We think it's supposed to be healthy, but our body doesn't use this form of folinic acid, and that will compete with the right kind of folic acid, the right kind of folate or folinic acid, that the usable form. And so this is kind of, I guess, adding a competitive toxin to what we would consider nutritious. Processed meats with nitrites, nitrates, or other chemicals you can't pronounce. So these are just, again, toxins that sit in the body. And consider also your meats, you want them to be organic and pasture raised because you don't want a lot of antibiotics and genetically modified foods going into the animals. I'll tell you, they use a lot of antibiotics because a lot of these animals are in caged facilities. They don't have free range and they get sick really easily. And, if you've looked at any of the cow production for meat or pigs or chickens, they don't let them live very long because otherwise they get too sick. So they're pumped with hormones and hormones to make them grow faster, antibiotics to make them not sick. And then that stuff sits in the bird, in the cow, in the muscles, in the meat, and it goes right into our bodies. So if you're trying to avoid antibiotics for your child, maybe they have an ear infection or a cold or a flu and you don't want to give antibiotics, think about the meat, the antibiotics in the meat you might be giving your kids. Unknowingly, it's not your fault, right? It's our food system. And don't be fooled by the word natural. It's a marketing gimmick. You want to look for organic. And for eggs, you want to look for organic pasture raised. Those are the most natural form, the chickens that have the most natural life that they're meant to have. Okay. I wanted to get back to the 4 Ds. Diet, which we just talked about, some tweaks to help with that. Digestion, That's a whole big thing that is for another time, another webinar. Drainage, I talked about in the beginning, and detox, which we want to do a little bit in conjunction with drainage, slowly, but in the right order, in the right way. And I have a program that helps with these steps. It's the Transforming Autism Jumpstart program. It's an 8-week course where I guide you through a 30-day protocol that helps reduce anxiety, increase interactions with a family and others. It improves cognitive function. It increases awareness, focus, and attention. And it can even help with new words and sentences, which we're finding in our program. And again, that's what you see change with your kids. What we're going to do is begin fixing the gut, working on that digestion piece. We're going to give the body energy to eliminate waste and pull toxins out of the gut so they actually leave the body and don't recirculate. We're going to help the gut microbiome to normalize, which helps with brain function. And we're going to start the gentle detoxification process by starting with the digestive tract, right? That's the bottom of our drainage funnel. And so we start there. And if you sign up for this today, I think I have a link in the next slide for fast action bonus takers today. Fast action takers, you'll get bonuses. I'm going to do extra protocol customization, a bonus call at the end of the program, and the investment. If you decide to go into our longer program, which is really what's needed, but I want to do a short little course, a short little protocol so you can see the gains your child can get. If you decide to go further into the longer program, everything you invest in the Jumpstart program gets put into, you basically don't pay for the Jumpstart program. It gets put towards your investment in the 12-month program. So if you're interested in that, you can scan this QR code, or you can use this shortened link, JS Join, and I'll leave that up there for a second for people if you need to find your phone, or you want to type in the link if you're on your phone. And this is a program that I've had probably 30, 40 people go through and then come into our longer program. And we're seeing, I'm going to stop the slide share. So I hope you got that code. And what I'm seeing in the program is I'm seeing that 100% of people who do exactly what I say when I customize their protocol are seeing changes like more words, less anxiety. Their kids are interacting with their siblings when they hadn't before. They're not afraid of people coming over to the house or going out, so their anxiety is much reduced, and they're sleeping better. They're eating better. Kids have a wider variety of food that they're willing to eat. Their attention is better, their eye contact's better. So these are some of the things that people in our program are seeing. I wish I had an exact quote of someone, but I didn't prepare that for today. So I just invite you to do that if you feel called to, and if you feel like that's the kind of help you need. And what I want to do now is open to some questions. I'm going to open the chat here, take a look at the chat. And if you have a question that you want to type into the chat, or I'm happy to answer about diet, drainage, detox, diet, digestion, drainage, detox, any of the 4 Ds or anything we talked about today. And you could also raise your digital hand and speak your question. So anyone ready with a question? Happy to answer. And if we don't have any, totally fine. We can end the call, but I thought that I would give you guys a chance to ask. And I'm going to go check on the YouTube and see if anyone's there asking. So give me a moment here. There we go. All right. Anyone, any questions? All right. Oh, can you please I'm guessing let's talk about gluten-free options. Well, I talked about some for the pasta. Oh, hey, Maria Elena, I just see you now. I talked about some for the pasta, whoever's on the phone. I'm not quite sure what else you want. Other gluten-free options. I think the thing I would watch out for with gluten-free options is that a lot of them have potato starch, tapioca starch, brown rice flour, and they're not organic. So you're feeding pesticides and then easy carbohydrates for the bad bacteria. So gluten-free options, I would say, are natural whole foods. I know if you're feeding your child cereal, if you're feeding your child toast or bread, find the cleanest or most organic choice possible in the store. There's also Thrive Market online. And you can check out, we have a parent in our group who purchases from Thrive Market. Costco has a lot of gluten-free options and organic. And then I just bought at Trader Joe's yesterday, I just bought a granola cereal that had no grains in it. So it was gluten-free and it was more seed-based. So look for seeds like pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, hemp seeds, those kinds of things, sunflower seeds, organic. Seems like I missed this. Is the recording available? Tech willing. There will be a recording. Tech willing. It's like inshallah. That's what I always say. Doing my best. All right. Yeah, I don't see any other questions. I don't see anyone. Thanks for asking that question. It should be available on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, Autism Transformed. Is organic bread okay? I don't find organic gluten-free from stores. Yeah, that's a tough one. You know what? I am going to work on, we have a parent in the program who told me she's working on a cauliflower bread recipe. And I was going to look up how to do that and see if I can make that. So we'll share that when it's available. The problem with organic bread is it's still gluten. And even the breads, even the Ezekiel, the more traditional grains, there's still gluten and there's still issues with that. I don't think our guts were made to have the highly processed wheat and the amount of gluten that we have. So I would say, Baby Lynn, just minimize. I know it's hard to find organic gluten-free from stores. There are some because I've gotten them before and I can't remember if it's Rudy's or which brand. I would type that into a Google or a DuckDuckGo search. I like DuckDuckGo because it gives you a wider variety of options, I find. And type that into the search and see if you can find some. There might be some on Thrive Market. I'm just not sure. But that's a good thing for me to look up. Thank you. All right, awesome. Well, thank you for those of you who attended live and for anyone who is going to watch the replay. All right, she says, I buy Namaste Organic and gluten-free perfect flour blend. I haven't tried making bread with that, but I have made pancakes and waffles. Good for you, Baby Lynn. And what I would say is, like, I would love to see people getting away from pancakes, waffles, breads, and because those are going to be your more processed options. And there's a transition phase. You're not going to do it all at once, but to get away from those things and have, like, for breakfast, I have avocado and eggs, maybe dinner the night before, quinoa with some vegetables. Those chicken nuggets, I had them for breakfast the next day too. So I'm going to encourage real foods all the time, real whole foods. And maybe it's a fruit salad with some nuts, or, maybe it's a nut combo, or maybe it's some kind of, it's hard to spread a nut butter unless it's on bread or a cracker. But I also get these, I think the brand is Pain de Fleur, like Pain, French, Pain de Fleur. And these crackers are made with quinoa, buckwheat, and there's one other, I think it's chestnut, and it's pretty much just that particular thing in there. So I will often spread nut butter on those if I want to have something crunchy and also, not filled with carbs. So I appreciate you sharing the brand Namaste Organic and Gluten-Free Perfect Flour. And bread isn't easy for all of us to make, but you know, um, it's something we might want to take on at some point. Oh, and you mix the organic chia seeds on mostly everything. And that's a good hack, Baby Lynn. And for everybody, you can take a teaspoon of chia seeds, put them in a little bowl, add some water, and they get goopy, but it's a great laxative. It really helps with pooping, and you can add those to different things. Now, they get stuck in my teeth, so I always have to brush my teeth afterwards. Keep that in mind. But they're filled with good omega-3 fatty acids, and they're really good for the body. We talked about fish oil, but the chia seeds are also good for the brain, as are hemp seeds. So there's some more diet tweaks. All right, awesome. Thank you, everybody. We're going to end here and respect your time and my time. I appreciate your being here. It's good to see you guys who turn on your videos. Thank you for that. And have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. Thank you. Bye-bye.